Dude, this is my jam, bro. This is my
Yeah.
jam. Ready? You ready? Ready, AK? Here we go.
Oh.
Mixed martial arts.
MMA,
Mixed
MMA,
martial
MMA,
arts.
MMA, MMA,
UFC
MMA,
Vegas
MMA,
45,
MMA,
Lewis
MMA,
and Daukus,
MMA,
Refight
MMA,
Q&A,
MMA,
live
MMA,
stream
MMA,
starts
MMA,
now.
MMA, MMA,
Oh,
MMA,
man, we're
MMA,
not good at this at all.
MMA, MMA. What? No, that was good. I think that was in time.
All right,
I think that was in
it.
time. I was going for sort of like a rhythmic thing. Anyway, hi everybody.
You were? You sure?
I mean, I was going for the rhythm. Don't know if I quite made it. Hi everyone, this is the voice of Alexander Cayley, and soon my face, which will pop up on the screen, and producer extraordinaire, E. Casey Leiden. Guys, we are here for the UFC Vegas 45 Lewis versus Daukus pre-fight Q&A. Thanks for joining us. I see a lot of people in the comments that are like, who were expecting Michael Heck, which I don't blame you.
Hey, I thought Michael Heck was going to be here. This is
that's awkward.
I'm the most disappointed, man. So
that's awkward.
Oh,
Michael Heck.
I'm sorry.
Michael Heck is, of course, in Tampa, Florida, for the combat sports event of the year. Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley too. So he is getting himself set up at the wonderful Amalie Arena soon, and you will be hearing from and seeing plenty of Mike Heck. If you're missing Mike after this show, guys, check out our YouTube. Check out MMAfighting.com. Stop putting a question on screen.
That was a question from last.
Check out our MMA Fighting YouTube. MMAfighting.com. There's Mike's had great interviews with personalities revolving around the Woodley Paul rematch all week. He's just been crushing it. So you guys have to settle for me for now. You'll be seeing Mike later, post-fight stuff, maybe the UFC, definitely the boxing, and but right now, guys, it's your show. So as we wait for UFC Vegas 45, starts in about half an hour. Let's see what is on your minds, guys. Send in your questions.
All right, here we go.
What do we got?
First question.
That is not
Wayne.
The Wayne leadoff 06. Casey and Heck. No, this is Alex Lee. This is Casey and A. This is EKC and AKL. Guys, get it right. Get it right.
That's awkward. Sorry. Oh, okay. I got to erase next 6 questions.
Asking about Mike. How's Mike doing? Mike, what was your favorite interview this week?
Here we go.
I can answer those questions. He is my best friend. So. Thank you, David Sandy. And of course, it is not my birthday, as usual. And
that's odd. Okay,
yep.
Weird.
Feel free to wish for anyone tuning into the post-fight shows later. If I'm on, it is not my birthday.
All right.
Tech and the cowbell. It needs more cowbell. I don't think we've had any cowbell. So, by mathematical, logic, yes, we need to have more cowbell. So,
all right, here we go.
Is there a question in here, Casey?
Not at all. Here we go. Let's get the low hanging fruit cap question.
Sure.
Easy one.
Apple Thunder Spice wants to know: will Chris Daukus KO Derick Lewis? Certainly could. He certainly could. He's been
Daukus. It could be his brother.
It could be Kyle Daukus. I would say so. Kyle Daukus probably not. Chris Daukus, highly likely.
Maybe.
Highly likely. Yeah. Look, Chris is on he's on a hell of a run. I think all his wins are by knockout in the UFC so far. Only one of them made it out of the second round. Made it past the first round. Excuse me. Shamil Abdurakhimov in Chris Daukus' most recent fight. So he looks like a future title challenger. We've kind of been saying it probably after the Olynyk win. We were like, okay, well this guy's serious. The heavyweight division always needs fresh blood. That's what Chris Daukus is right now. It's funny. He's actually a really great grappler. His specialty is really jiu-jitsu. But at heavyweight, he's shown good athleticism, good power, good timing, and he's knocking suckers out. So Lewis, a good stand-up fighter, is certainly susceptible to being finished by strikes. He has a handful of knockout losses in his resume. Could happen tonight. Not my pick though. But Casey, what do you think?
It's actually interesting. We talk about Lewis, not being known for his grappling, but if you beat Lewis, you usually beat him standing. You don't beat him on the ground. Outside of basically Cormier was really the only one to really take kind of full advantage of Derick Lewis's grappling inadequacies or something. But do you think there's a path to victory for Chris Daukus to win on the ground, to take him down and grind him out and get a submission?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Again, like you said, nobody does it. Nobody does it, and
It
there's a
seems like the
big.
easiest path to victory, but you can't
You
do
would
it
think
because
so.
it's Derek freaking
Because
Lewis.
he just stands up because he just
Yeah.
stands up out of everything
Because
because
jiu-jitsu does not exist. It's not a real
jiu-jitsu
thing.
is a state of
State of
mind.
mind.
Jiu-jitsu isn't real. You know this now because again you've been training for a fight. I'm sure it was very eye-opening for you when like people were trying to put an armbar on you in training and you just kind of like slipped out and you're like that's weird, like that didn't work.
Yeah. So some random dude on the street just went stand up. I was like, okay.
Okay. Yeah. You're like fight. Someone's trying to get their hooks on you, like in a rear naked choke. You kind of just stood up, just take their arms off. Like, okay, back to stand up fighting, sir. Like very awkward when that gets exposed. I've heard when people go to the gym for the first time and find out jiu-jitsu isn't real, or they watch a Derek Lewis fight and find out jiu-jitsu isn't real. So yeah, I mean that's what you would think. A guy with good grappling would just go that way. But again, Daukus has shown good striking as well. So that's probably the way he goes with it.
But you know
what was your official pick, Casey?
I'm going Lewis. What did I pick? I think Lewis KO third round. I'm not confident in that. I'm just kind of going with it, to be honest. I don't, because it's a Derek Lewis fight. You just don't know what was going to happen. And we talk about Chris Daukus being on a good win streak, but everyone he's beaten in his short UFC tenure so far, I feel Derek Lewis would have done the same exact thing. So Chris Daukus has proved that I think that he belongs in this main event. He belongs to be. He's earned that right to be across the cage from Derek Lewis. And this is going to be a big. We're going to find out how good he is tonight. We kind of know We kind of know who Derek Lewis is. We don't know how good Chris Daukus is. And I think tonight's gonna. No, it won't write the whole story for him, but it's gonna tell us a lot.
Yeah, it's funny. So in our own rankings, Chris Daukus is number 8. So I was going to say there's like a tier of heavyweights where like you reach. So and then above him are Jairzinho, Volkov, Curtis Blades, and then the rest of the top 4. It's kind of like I feel like he's a tier below those guys, but he is above Alistair Overeem in our rankings, mostly because Overeem's been out with inactivity. I think if they fought, I think Overeem would probably be slightly favored. So we're going to find out tonight.
Yeah, and Daukus is the only issue. He
just
hasn't had the right person across the cage for us to justifiably rank him higher.
Yeah,
he could be the best. He could be the best heavyweight in the world. We don't know, but I doubt it. But we just don't know.
He's beaten good veterans. He's beaten good veterans, but he's beaten who he's supposed to beat so far, which is good. That's all you can ask someone to do. And people just keep in mind, Lewis has only lost Cyril Gane, JDS, Cormier, and Mark Hunt in the last since 2015. So I don't know.
It's also important to note about Chris Daukus. I'm not sure when, but I think probably within the last year and a half, he is now a full-time fighter. Before his whole regional run, he was a full-time police officer and a part. Was it? He's the cop, right? Daukus. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, now his brother. Yeah. Yeah. So, but now he's I guess he's taking a leave, and now he is dedicated full-time to mixed martial arts. So that's a good sign for fans because we should get a better version of Chris Daukus than earlier versions in the UFC.
Yeah, exactly. He's fully focused now. Again, a lot of us have been saying he probably challenges for the heavyweight title sooner rather than later. We'll see if it's Lewis's name that vaults into the top. But thank you, Apple Thunder Spice, for that question. And I will say a happy belated birthday to David Sandine. So he just said it was his birthday yesterday. So.
Sure.
Jose, not Youngs, with the horrible Frankie Edgar.
Change that picture, Jose.
Duck face kick picture. How are y'all doing? I think this card is a good one, underrated. What are y'all thoughts on whole card? I think we've been saying since last week, this is one to look forward to. This is kind of a perfect year ender. I do think it's a little top heavy. There's certainly some interesting names on the prelims, but I do think it's, at least as far for me, the level of intrigue, it's like the main card would be like an 8, like a solid 8.5. Prelims, like a 6.5. I'm not super excited at the prelims, and seeing a bunch of people miss weight for it also did not make me thrilled. Though I don't know, that might
historically
make you
miss weight.
That might make you more interested, Casey.
Historic weight misses.
What do you think?
Not just a regular weight miss, an historic first ever in the UFC weight miss for Mr. Tafa. So
does that make you more excited about it then?
Yes. So to answer the first question, how y'all doing? I'm doing fine. Thank you, Jose. I disagree. You said this is a great way to end the year. No, last week was a great way to end the year.
Sure.
This is kind of I don't know. This is a free dessert when you go to a nice restaurant.
It's a cooler. Yeah.
So it's a nice card. It's tonight with the boxing match. if you're not going out, it's a good night of combat sports. So it should be a good card.
Yes. The boxing.
Completely.
I like how you just called it the boxing match. We
The
all
boxing.
know it is the boxing match.
I don't know. It's a good card. I'm bummed. I'm bummed about I'm bummed about Pennington and Macy Chiasson because that fight essentially means nothing. It's not even a featherweight fight.
Yeah,
It's basically a
tough.
bantamweight against a featherweight. I don't know. It's against a lightweight. She's fighting in the Kayla Harrison weight class. So that's just a weird fight. I don't know what it means. Like, it doesn't mean anything. Like, even if Raquel wins or loses, or Macy wins or loses, it really means nothing to the division, which sucks because Macy Chiasson could be a potential bantamweight contender. But no matter what happens tonight, we really can't take anything from it, other than she took a late notice fight and asked to be a weight class up, and then missed that weight class completely too. So that's a bummer. I'm super bummed out about Barcelos Victor Henry. I don't know if you saw the news. Victor Henry, I'm not sure if it was him or someone at his camp. You know, but the fight got postponed due to COVID. Someone in his camp or he himself got COVID. That sucks. That was a fight I was super looking forward to. I think Barcelos is one of the most underrated bantamweights in the UFC, and Victor Henry is probably the best unsigned bantamweight in America, at least. That finally got his chance in the UFC. He's had lots of success in Japan, but due to COVID restrictions and travel restrictions, he hasn't been able to fight in Japan. So he's in the UFC, and everything went poo-poo because of stupid COVID. And Gamrot's fighting. That's freaking awesome, though.
Yeah. Yeah, and just to update people, sorry, on what you were talking about there, Casey. That's right. We have one fight canceled. Victor Henry reportedly tested positive for COVID-19, so his fight with Raoni Barcelos is postponed. Hopefully not canceled. Looks like it could be rescheduled soon. And with Macy Chiasson, she's stepping in on less than 2 weeks' notice for Julia Avila. Very smartly, by the way, taking this opportunity because Raquel Pennington, top 10 bantamweight. So that was Avila's moment. It was going to be Avila's moment. She has bowed out, I believe, due to a knee injury. And Macy Chiasson and her team very smartly jumped at the opportunity, but very short notice, less than 2 weeks. So they did have to change it to a featherweight encounter, and she still missed. And so somewhat excusable, but disappointing. Disappointing regardless. Yeah. Disappointing regardless. You really wish you could have made it. She was 2.5 pounds over. So yeah, 148.5 pounds right now. On Friday for someone that we are hoping to see as a 135 pound title contender someday. But again, these are extenuating circumstances. I don't want to hold it over her too much. But thank you for the question. I think it's a good card, and it has some surprising. Let me put it this way: if Chris Daukus wins, Stephen Thompson wins, and Amanda Lemos wins, these are three people who you would not be surprised to see fighting for a UFC title in 2022. So there's some groundwork being laid here.
Yeah. If we get questions about these other fights later, I have a lot to talk about some other fights.
Sure.
We have lots of other. We have lots of things to go for right now.
Right. I see them pouring in now. Jeez, I see a lot of question marks in the chat. Jeremy Freitag says, how many people think Belal decides to wrestle Wonderboy? Not this guy. Casey?
It would seem that this would be the only path to victory for Belal. If it's just a strictly stand-up, kickboxing, mixed martial arts fight, I just don't see Belal winning a 3-round fight against Wonderboy, even in the small octagon. Which they are in tonight. The big cage definitely favors Wonderboy, but even in the small apex cage, I think Wonderboy is just better everywhere than Belal, and especially in the stand up, I think Wonderboy is just a much dangerous striker. But if Belal can somehow outstrike and just defeat Wonderboy with his hands and feet, I'll be surprised. But I don't think Belal has the wrestling to honestly get a decision over Wonderboy. But this is the time to shock me. This is his big fight, right? He's kind of always asking for these big moments. Give me these top ranked guys. He had it with Leon Edwards. And then we know what happened there. It was a big screw up, the eye poke. So this is kind of his second chance. So big, super important fight for Belal, but also a super important fight for Wonderboy too. Maybe even a more important fight for Wonderboy, to be honest, as far as title contention.
He's a fresh challenger. Yeah, yes, he just lost to Gilbert Burns, but Gilbert Burns is not going to be getting a rematch anytime soon, unfortunately, because the first fight was pretty good, as brief as it was. But I mean, Wonderboy is a fresh name to challenge Kamaru Usman. UFC, of course, likes him. He's known to fans, so he could leapfrog Burns with a win over Muhammad, which I think he gets. And I understand the nature of this question. Of course, we literally just saw, like as I mentioned, we just saw Wonderboy lose to Gilbert Burns because of Burns' wrestling. But Burns' grappling is like kind of top tier, A plus, A plus level. Muhammad's a good grappler. He is not on the Gilbert Burns tier. So and again, like you said, Casey, he'd have to surprise us. I just haven't seen Belal dominate a fight with his wrestling, and outside of the Gilbert Burns fight, not a lot of fighters dominate Wonderboy with their wrestling. He normally has really good takedown defense. I think Burns is just like a really good fighter. It doesn't take anything away from Wonderboy. So I think this is a really tough matchup for Belal. He relies on pressure, pressure, cardio. Neither of those kind of opponents have really been an issue for Thompson. You really have to have some sort of knockout power, at least the threat of it, to kind of get him off his game. And Belal just hasn't really shown that. So I'm definitely with Wonderboy on this one, but I do understand the question, though.
All right. I like this question from MMA Dog.
MMA Dog, loyal listener, man's best friend. 2020 is the year of weight class changes. Will Eubanks stay victorious at flyweight? Well, she won't. She won't tonight because she did not make flyweight. So we mentioned some of the misses before. Justin Tafa, first heavyweight ever to miss weight in the UFC, and Sijara Eubanks, unfortunately, the third time she's had an issue making the 125-pound limit, came in 1.5 pounds over. So I really do think that she could be a contender at 125. But the weight cut is a big issue for her. It cost her chance to become the inaugural. I mean, in another world, she's probably the inaugural women's flyweight champion instead of Nico Montano. She missed that opportunity because weight cut issues led to kidney failure a few years ago. And then she's also missed weight once before this, and now this is her second time officially missing weight. So I do think she can do it, but boy, she's not having a good time coming down to 125.
More importantly, if she loses tonight with the weight miss, she is a 500 fighter in the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of weight misses.
Yeah.
I think there's a heavy possibility that UFC actually, I don't know, just doesn't resign her or just cuts her. It's missing weight and losing and being a 500 fighter. I don't know if that kind of, the ship has sailed as far as the UFC, thinking Eubanks will be a potential title contender. I used to be really high in Eubanks. I thought she was. I thought she was definitely one of the top 5 flyweights in the world, but I don't know what it is. She seems to have it skill-wise, but I don't know. It's just something doesn't feel right. I don't know. She's kind of an enigma to me. Honestly, sometimes she looks really amazing. Other times, it's like, oh, this is the same fighter. Whatever it is, I think her next fight, if she does fight in UFC, I think it will have to be at bantamweight. And
I guess so. But it sucks because at bantamweight she seems, even though it's like a thinner division, she seems pretty average at that weight. Like she's, that 10 pounds makes a difference. I do feel like at flyweight it is her ideal weight, and she's okay at bantamweight. She has a few wins there in the UFC, but I really think her ideal weight is flyweight. She's looked so good at 125 pounds when she can make it. So
yeah. But who's her best fight? Who's her best victory at 125? Roxanne.
She beat Roxy. Yeah, a while ago. Yeah, she beat Lauren Murphy. She beat Lauren Murphy at 125. Yeah, she's a really. She has a lot of good wins at flyweight. She just can't. It's just tough for her to make it. It's really tough for her to make it.
All right. This is a quick yes or no answer.
Matthew Neville wants to know: is this a must-win for Angela Hill? If she loses, do you see the UFC cutting her? It's a must-win. I think it's not a must-win. It's a would like to win. I don't think she's getting cut. She does. No, she takes so many short notice opportunities. They love her.
This is also a short notice fight. She's fighting. I think she's like I think Amanda Lemos is the new boogie woman of the strawweight division. She doesn't have that name value yet, but you talk to other strawweights, you watch her fights. This is a vicious woman, and she seems to be making strawweight rather not easily, but she can fight. She can fight strawweight now without having any weight misses. I talked to Angela. I was like, man, you're a brave lady for taking this fight. She was very confident. She goes, she ain't ready for me. So I'm picking Lemos. I think Lemos is that good, but I would be happy for Angela Hill if she can somehow pull off this upset. If she loses, she is not getting cut. Angela Hill is she's doing a lot of UFC. She's on the desk sometimes, right? in the UFC.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's a very valued member of sort of the UFC team outside of her fighting. So I do think they would keep her around for a bit. Yeah.
I think this is this is one of those quote unquote playing of house money type fights for Angela Hill.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a nice paycheck for the end of the year, and again, she's doing the UFC a favor, doing Amanda Lemosha a favor, keep her on the card. Um, I will say, I don't gamble. You guys know I don't gamble, and I would tell people don't bet on MMA. But if you do, this would be my upset pick of the night. This would absolutely be my upset pick of the night. She is much more.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say much more. Lemosha's beaten some good people recently, but for the most part, the experience gap is huge between the two of them, and experience isn't everything, but I do think Angela Hill has the tools to win a decision. I don't think she could like knock her out or anything, but I do think she could win a 3-round decision over Lemosha. So just think because Lemosha's other recent her last loss was like Leslie Smith, another experienced fighter, very different fighter than Angela Hill. But again,
at 35, 20 pounds higher too.
Sure, but that experience gap I think matters a bit. But otherwise, I understand. Yeah, Lemosha for sure I think is a future title contender. But if I were to have an upset pick, it'd be Hill over Lemosha tonight.
Yeah. When Lemosha, I know she walked through Montserrat Ruiz, walked through Livia Souza, dominated Mizuki Inoue, who I was super high on, and I was like, dang, Lemosha's super good. So we'll see tonight. I'm excited that this is very high on the card too. It's the third fight from the top, which is where it should be. So that's pretty cool.
What?
Kevin.
Sorry, I saw Ariel pop up in the comments.
Oh god, what's this?
Ariel Hawani wants to know: is this live, sir? Thank you for your question, sir. I'll say this: anyone who's in show business would probably know the answer to know that this is live. This is live and happening right now.
Wait.
So whoever this young man is, I'll give him a tip. Watch how this is done. And I'm sure if you work hard, you can have a fine career in broadcasting yourself, sir. So thank you, Ariel. Thank you for the question.
I think I'm googling him. He's a young upstart journalist.
Okay.
Are we hiring? We should
MMA. He covers MMA.
MMA. Yeah. Maybe if you want to send us his LinkedIn page, we can take a look at it. See if we can open up an internship role for this Ariel Helwani.
Yeah. Let's just give him a chance. Let's open the door for him.
Let's give him a chance.
Shout out to Helwani. The best.
Oh my god. Hold on. You won't believe this. You will not believe this.
What is it?
Oh
my gosh, it is live. There he is. Holy cow. People, get your questions in. This man is also, we mentioned Mike Heck is on site. We've also got Florida Ariel in the building. This man, of course, is around for Showtime. Ariel, please, I'm talking over you. Go ahead. Let them know what's up.
Not only am I on site, it's on site between you and I, AK. Okay, I learned that. I don't know. I actually don't know what it means. I heard AJ McKee say it. It's on site.
Yeah, and they all get it wrong.
I'm having my pregame Caesar salad here in Tampa. I don't know if there's stuff on my face. And I'm watching, and then you know what occurred to me? I was like, is this live? So I just wanted to check. You didn't think it was actually me, right? You didn't think it was me?
No, I knew it was. There's again, Aaron, when you have a little more experience with the YouTube, you'll see there's a little thing. You're verified. You are verified on YouTube. So
right.
The real deal. The real heel, Wani.
How come you guys aren't talking about KSW right now?
It's happening right now. I mean, we should be doing a live viewing right now. We got Soldich and Kaladov in the main event. Amazing main event tonight. Yeah, today I'd say tonight in Poland.
It's going on right now. And are you guys excited for the highly anticipated rematch? This is actually not Tampa Ariel here. This is Showtime Shilwani here in the house. I don't know if you guys know. This is this is the most anticipated fight in combat history. And
it is the boxing. Remember, the boxing event tonight.
It's every day, bro. Yeah. It's every day.
Well, you know what? We're not that. Yeah. That fight is so big. Like, we're not even doing a post show for this Ultimate Fighting. We are waiting to this boxing event, and then we might talk about some cage fighting. That's how big this boxing event is.
Listen, we joke. Let me be serious for a second. We joke, but I mean, I don't need to tell it to you guys. The conveyor belt of these Apex events, as good as the cards are, they all kind of blend together. And so of course, we would never dare compare Jake Paul to Wonderboy Thompson. Of course, we would never dare compare Jake Paul to Chris Daukus. But there is something to be said for a little variety and something a little different. And now this has become a little more of an MMA story because of Tyron Woodley's involvement as opposed to the Tommy Fury fight. And so I see people getting all upset and all fired up. It's like, first of all, guys, freaking chill out. There's a lot more things to be upset about in this world. If you don't think that Jake Paul is at least taking the preparation and training seriously, you're living under a rock. Tyron Woodley is a very important person in the history of mixed martial arts. You've got the people's main event of Chris Avila and Anthony Taylor on the card. You've got Frank Gore versus Darren Williams. You've got Amanda Serrano, who's also an MMA fighter, on the verge of getting the biggest fight in women's boxing history that would sell out Madison Square Garden potentially against my good friend Katie Taylor. Like, chill the F out. All right? Have some fun. It's the holiday season. Stop taking yourselves so damn seriously. By the way, the same people who watch a bunch of fakakta UFC fights that aren't even UFC caliber, like, chill out, guys, all right? Get the Zuffa zombie out of you. It's okay to watch both. It's okay to have fun. It's okay. You know what I mean? Just like chill the F out. That's what I say to them.
Wow. Let me just give the legal disclaimer here. The opinions of Ariel Helwani do not reflect that of MMAfighting.com, SB Nation, Vox Media.
What do you disagree with?
No. I just listen. You're just coming out so hot right now. I just need to make sure we're legally covered. That's my job
here. This is Showtime Showani speaking right now.
This is Show. Exactly. You are now. You listen. This is reflected upon Showtime right now. All right. If anyone has a complaint, you guys email Showtime support. Okay. And you if you're upset by Ariel Helwani's comments. Mr. Showani, where can people watch this fight in the U.S.?
Oh, you can watch.
I will come to Canada. But yes.
Thank you for the plug. I know where you can watch it in Canada. It's fight.tv, right? The good people over at Fight.
Yes, correct.
In the U.S., it's Showtime pay-per-view, and I'm really curious. I'm actually curious to hear like what this does as opposed to the first. I think the general consensus seems to be that it won't do as well as the first because of the curiosity factor. You know, usually when there's a rematch, it's not under these circumstances, right? It's usually like, you know, Conor Nate or a war, a controversial finish. There was no controversy here. It wasn't necessarily a war. So I understand some of the ho-humness to the buildup of this fight. But man, like to me, just because we've all watched Tyron for so long, like Tyron Woodley is just as big a part of the story as Jake Paul, in my opinion. I want to know if he can go out on his own terms. I want to know if he could go out with the W. I want to know if he can right the wrong from August. So, taking off the Showani hat for a second, like I'm excited. I'm curious to see if Woodley can actually look. Tyron Woodley, what's been the knock on him? He doesn't get out of neutral. He doesn't let it fly. He's not aggressive enough. We saw him aggressive in the fourth round, and then he didn't quite go that extra gear. Well, maybe this $500,000 bonus, which is a real thing, will make him bring the fight to Jake Paul. And maybe by bringing the fight to Jake Paul, he gets knocked out. But hopefully it's more of the Tyron Woodley that we saw against Vicente Luque than the Tyron Woodley that we saw against, say, Gilbert Burns or Colby Covington.
Now, Eric, go ahead, Casey.
My big thing about Woodley on this fight, and I know it sounds weird to say out loud, but if Tyron Woodley doesn't care about getting knocked out, he can win this fight.
Agreed. I agree. 100%.
Yeah, if he doesn't care about losing, if he's not worried about getting embarrassed, he can win this fight. Because I think when the whole getting out of neutral thing, I think that's so much of what it is. Like, well, I don't want to get humiliated out here.
Especially to Jake Paul, right?
Yeah, especially Jake Paul.
Humiliated by Vicente Luque. It's another to get knocked out by Jake Paul, who will use you as a meme forever. Who will look at Nate Robinson. Like the mention of Nate Robinson makes people laugh, which is unfortunate because he had a great basketball career. And so I couldn't agree more. Yeah. And especially in the day and age, I think that's actually a big thing for a lot of fighters. I would also even argue that it's a big thing for all athletes now. Like no one wants to be on Instagram. No one wants to be humiliated. Back in the day, it used to be like, you don't want to end up on the SportsCenter top 10, right? Like that was the big thing. Yeah. But that was just like a moment in time and then everyone forgot about it. Now it lives on forever and ever. And look at like Nate taking the Masvidal knockout. And even those guys are made fun of. So yeah, I agree. If he forgets about that and just lets it fly, he has a chance to win. I mean, he's Tyron freaking Woodley. It's not like he's getting outclassed in these fights. A lot of it is on himself.
Absolutely.
Now, Ariel, I know you don't love to make. Okay, I was about to say most players these days don't want to end up on like Shaq and a fool either, as the Knicks probably have several times this season already.
Wow.
But I don't want to listen. I don't want. I know you don't love to make predictions as far as who will win. So I won't ask who you think will win. But are you optimistic that it will be a different fight tonight, a more entertaining fight than the first one?
I think it will be more entertaining because they took the criticism to heart. I can't say that it's going to end in a finish, this and that, but I think the odds are appropriate. I think Jake should be the favorite, considering he's younger. And what happens when it goes to zero, by the way? Do we have to stop talking? What goes
No,
on?
no. I usually let people know if the show's starting. I don't see people in the
Oh,
cage yet, so please go on, Ariel. I'll let people know. I will
yeah.
let people know.
Okay, sorry,
Come on,
sorry.
let's go.
Yeah, no, I think I think it will be more entertaining. I don't know if it'll end in a finish. I have to say, I'm very invested in the Katie Taylor Serrano story, and we have seen sometimes in the past when someone's like on the verge of getting something big and they stumble at the finish line. Could you imagine? Like, this would be the biggest fight in women's boxing history. Like, this would be the equivalent of, I don't know, Cyborg and Ronda fighting back in the day. Two women headlining MSG, and not just the Hulu Theater, like the real MSG, where Covington and
Yeah.
Usman just fought. So I'm curious about that. There's like a fascination with Frank Gore. I actually think Frank Gore, I know people will scoff at this. Like, the guy's built like a fighter. Like, I was next to him. I was like, holy smokes, this guy's a fighter. By the way, most games played as a running back in NFL history. You know how tough you have to be to play that many games in the NFL as a running
That's
back?
insane. Like, I don't
Yes,
follow football, but I was looking at the stats. I was like, holy crap! Like, this
third
guy's
all-time
legit.
leading rusher. This guy was on the Jets. He was leading the Jets. Now the Jets suck, but still, like, he was just playing last year. It's not like he's some guy who was, playing 6 years ago and now needs money. Both these guys don't need money. Both these guys are in shape. So I don't know. And Liam Paro, I've learned a lot about him. He's the Australian fighter fighting on the pay-per-view card. He seems like a great young prospect. So I'm hyped. It's something different. And also, like, I'd be lying if I didn't say I've always wanted to be an in-ring interviewer and post-fighting. I don't get those opportunities in our little world. So anytime I could get the opportunity to do that, it's very exciting for me.
Yeah, well, you've been doing a spectacular job this. I can tell you have been relishing. You've been relishing this moment. How great was the Bohochinho Depot put this clip out there? How great was that
The moon?
with the moon with the what?
That's all I wanted to ask you about.
The moon's out. That's weird. And then Jake Paul. Yes, that is strange.
Yeah, that is odd.
That is odd.
Those guys have good chemistry, and it's like not fabricated.
I agree.
They're actually kind of funny together. How do you guys feel about Tyron taking the watch, though? Like, was that? I thought he would actually get criticized for that. I thought maybe take the watch, but then like donate it, like sell it, donate. Do you feel like it's a weak move to take the watch? I feel like that.
You can still donate. Yeah.
I thought it was odd, but I didn't really put too much.
I would be like, yo, keep your freaking watch. I don't want your stupid watch. I'll get my own damn watch.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. I don't know. I'm not a big watch guy anyway, so I don't really care about those things. But I was surprised he took the watch, if I'm being honest.
I've just never seen something like that. So, I mean, I wouldn't know how I'd react to the situation. I'm sure Tyron was caught off guard. I mean, he's seen a lot in this combat sports business, but someone handing you
you talk about stakes. Sorry to interrupt, AKB. You talk about stakes. What if freaking Jake Paul wins this fight? And then what if freaking Nathan Diaz fights in March or April? I mean, you guys are telling me you're not signing up for Jake Paul versus Nathan Diaz.
I'm just saying. I was going to say I didn't believe it's happening, but anything's possible now. When you know what, 2017, when Conor McGregor broke the Mayweather door down, that was the last time I ever said there's no chance this fight is happening, because I had said forever Conor McGregor's not fighting Floyd Mayweather. I'm like, that's just not how would they allow this? That happened. Ever since then, you present to me any combat sports scenario, any big name, I'm like, yeah, sure, could happen. It could happen. This is very real.
Absolutely. And I don't know if it's a co-pro, but I think there's a chance that Nate just fights out his deal and goes and takes the fight. We know there's interest there. Connor had a lot of gifts in that run. I'm talking about like God-given gifts, the left hand and all that stuff. But one of his gifts as well was timing. He benefited greatly from timing, because that 2016 year was the year that they sold the company. And so like wanting him to fight at MSG was such a big deal and part of the sale and getting the sport legalized in New York. So they pushed for that and the Eddie Alvarez fight and the two belts. And then the next year, after they just spent $4 billion, they're like, oh my God, we've got this Floyd Mayweather fight in our lap and we don't have to like put up any money or any production costs. This is tremendous. And so like he benefited greatly from just like the circumstances of the sport and the UFC selling for all that much money. But I think Nate is on the cusp of potentially being a free agent, and you've got this guy there and this built-in storyline. I mean, let's be honest, the reason Chris Avila is on this card is because of Nate Diaz, right? Like, they're just hoping for something.
Yes.
So that would be freaking huge. It would be huge. I think it would be a spectacle.
Is there any chance that Nate could fight Jake Paul, but with the Zuffa boxing thing going? I don't think so.
I don't know.
I'm just kind of throwing that out there.
Listen, anything's a chance. Anything's a chance. As AK just said, it just happened back in 2017.
But the timing is not right. Like
yes,
that's the issue.
They don't need the money. They don't. You know what I mean? Like it's just a different circumstance. But I actually believe. Call me crazy. I actually think Dana likes Jake Paul. I think he likes his chutzpah. Yeah, I think he likes that he pokes the bear and talks shit about him. And I think Dana would be in business. It's the same thing with Kimbo. No one thought, he'd put him on the Ultimate Fighter. And look, like Dana, could you imagine? I bet you Dana has pitched the idea of Jake on the Ultimate Fighter before. I don't know the fact. Could you imagine?
Now that's how you save the show. I keep talking about there's no saving the show.
$10,000 to be on the Ultimate Fighter, to grow your brand. You're going to be on ESPN Plus. Tens of people are going to watch you every week. It's going to be fantastic.
Tens of people and AK.
It's like it's a 10-week shoot or however long we need to lock you in this house.
Yes.
Yeah.
No
he
phone.
Would love that.
No nothing. AK, how many hours or minutes or seconds of the last Ultimate Fighter did you watch?
I watched the entire thing. I have never missed a season. I'm the only person.
That is actually sick. That is sick.
And it was bad.
It was
I'm
bad.
I'm not going to. You know how sometimes people invest so much time into something, then they feel they have to defend it because it's like, I put this much time into it. I'm gonna say this was excellent. No, I would tell people, do not watch The Ultimate Fighter unless you have a lot of free time. No, really, or they change the format drastically. I don't care who's coaching. I don't care what the supposed coaches fight is supposed to be at the end of the season. The show is so stale. Do not watch it. That's all I'll say.
Why did you do this?
Yeah. Well, I mean, MMAfighting.com paid me to do it, but I would have done it anyway.
Oh, you had to do recaps and stuff?
I had to do recaps, but I volunteered for it, Ariel. I wanted to do it because I'm going to watch it anyway.
You justify it by saying it's part of your job, but that's not true.
Exactly.
I have screenshots on Slack.
It's the opposite.
And are going like, guys, we don't need to cover this. And AK's like, I'll do it, guys.
I don't cover it because they asked me. I asked them so I could say that I was covering it.
Did you watch the Gastelum Whitaker one too?
Yes.
That was the season, right? Gastelum Whitaker? No, was it Whitaker? The last one, right?
Gastelum and no, that wasn't. Was that before? That was the heavy hitters one, right? Yeah, with Macy Chiasson and
was it Gastelum Whitaker?
Was that the Gas? I think it was because it was quite a while ago. Yeah.
What a coaching duo that is, huh? Gastelum Whitaker. Yeah. What was that like?
They're very nice guys. Okay, hold on. I don't want to end the session, but I will say Jordan Levitt and Matt Sales are stepping into the cage. So, but people, can we get some A's in the chat, some H's in the chat, just some big shout outs. I see plenty of love already. Can we get some more love for Ariel Helwani for jumping in here?
Can I tell you joining us? I wouldn't know who Matt Sales was if he walked into my house and spit in my face. Okay?
Oh my gosh!
I'm joking.
That's Helwani. That is Shilwani, who's just saying nothing matters tonight except for the Showtime boxing event.
Showtime Shilwani.
This is Shilwani. Paul Woodley too. Leave no doubt. 8 o'clock. The prelims.
9 o'clock pay-per-view. Get it right, Jabron. 9 o'clock.
How can people watch the prelims? Are the prelims not available somewhere?
That's a good question. I don't think they show them. I only work bank cards. Okay.
9 o'clock pay-per-view on Showtime pay-per-view in the US. Yeah, this is how we do it now. This is the.
Wait, I thought this music was banned.
Don't.
Okay, sorry.
Who runs this shit? Who runs this?
Right. Okay.
Hey, when's the fight? When's the fight, Casey? When's the fight?
Late February. First.
Oh yes.
We're working on it. They don't. They're
there's negotiations?
Well, they don't know what date it is. I don't know what weekend of February.
Are you guys going to do a pre-show for the fight too?
For my fight?
Yeah.
Well, I was just going to say, Ariel, if you would like Casey on the MMA Hour, just, you have my number. Just text me. We can arrange that. Maybe
Perfect.
There's a long
Monday?
list. I'll see if we can fit you. Yeah, I'll see if we can fit you in.
This Monday, yeah.
I'll
be there on Monday. I'll wait.
You'll be there.
First guest MMA Hour this Monday. You heard it first.
Perfect.
Oh, I do a poll, by the way. 70% picking Derick Lewis tonight. So 70% think Derick Lewis is going to hold his spot in the rankings.
Derick Lewis fighting tonight?
Derick Lewis is fighting top 10 contender Chris Daukus, Ariel Helwani. Stop it, Ariel Helwani. But thank you. No, Ariel, seriously, thank you so much for joining us. Casey, thank you so much. Producer extraordinaire.
I'm just happy to know that you guys actually do this live.
It's all the time. Hop in anytime you want, you want, and not just to promote a boxing event that you have me working. So, thank you, thank you for joining us, and thanks you. This is Alexander Keeley signing off, guys. Go enjoy the show.
Happy birthday, AK.
It's not my birthday.
What? Weird.